What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nash, and in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you need to remove from your resume. Now, I will say not all resumes are equal. If you're applying for an art job, your resume might be different for someone who is applying for a financial analyst position. So this is going to be strictly for people that are applying to jobs that are more analytical. Specifically, financial analyst might be an accounting job, but I've seen some resumes where someone just graduated from college and they have a 2-page resume. And I'm like, why is your resume this long when you don't have actual work experience? And now look at the resume, you see that they have all these things that are irrelevant. Now, the goal for having a resume is it needs to be professional, concise, and relevant to what you're applying to. So the first thing you want to remove is going to be your objective statement. So people usually add this on the top of their resume, which is kind of like their goals and things that aren't really relevant to the position. They're not, there might be professional, things, professional goals, but those are not going to add to your resume. Instead, if you want to do that, you can add something like a professional summary, right? Something that you'd add on your LinkedIn bio, because you're able to add a professional summary. Something that highlights, some of the things that you've done in the past, which are like your qualifications, your skills, or even some of the things you might be able to bring to the position you're applying for. So instead of adding an objective statement, which usually has goals in it, add a summary of your professional experience. The next one is going to be remove irrelevant work experience. Now, I was guilty of this when I was in college. I would apply to internships, but then I would add my entire work history, even when I worked at HEB when I was in high school, right? And this didn't really add to my resume because I'm applying for a financial analyst position or internship position, but I'm adding that I used to work at HEB in something that has nothing to do with what I'm applying to. So even though it looks good that you have a lot of experience, you can try to tailor that, that work experience to something that adds to the position you're applying to. If you're applying to a financial analyst position, how about you add maybe some data entry jobs you had, or something that can add to what you're applying to. The next one is going to be outdated skills, right? And maybe outdated certifications. So sometimes the financial industry is ever changing. There are some certifications that are no longer recognized, or maybe software, right? They move on to different software. So you kind of like want to look for things that are, being used, like that are the trend, right? And those are things you want to add on your resume. So if you're applying for a financial analyst position and the job description says you're looking for someone who knows how to use Microsoft Excel, right? Those are the things you want to add on your resume as some of your skills. You don't want to add something like, I know how to use Canva, right? That has nothing to do with the job you're applying to, that skill. Or maybe I know how to edit videos. That has nothing to do with what you're applying to. So you always want to remove outdated skills or skills that have nothing to do with the job you're applying to. Now, the next one is going to be personal information. This one is weird because I've seen people put addresses on their resumes. I've seen people put their age on their resume, which is kind of strange, right? They even put their marital status, right? Like they're married or they're single. You don't have to put all that. Nobody really cares. And it's also for your safety. Don't put personal information on a resume. The only thing you need on a resume is your name, your email address, your phone number, and a link to your LinkedIn profile, right? And I've seen people put pictures on their resumes, like maybe a headshot. You don't have to do that. That's why you add your LinkedIn, a link to your LinkedIn profile, so that if they want to see more, they can do that. Now, when you add all this information, like your address, your gender, your race, your even though every employer is an equal opportunity employer, you might find that hiring manager that doesn't abide by that. So you don't want to give them the chance to be biased, right? Just put your name, your phone number, email address, and a link to your LinkedIn profile. That's it. Right? You don't want to give them a chance to be biased, even though they're not supposed to be biased. And the last thing you want to remove from your resume is going to be your hobbies and your interests. Now, I've seen people put this at the bottom of their resume. They'll put hobbies and interests. They'll put, I like to play soccer. I like to play football. I like to do this. Like, that has nothing to do with the job you are applying to. So, unless it's related, but I can't think of a hobby that's related to being a financial analyst that you can add, unless it's a skill, right? You'd add it on the skills section. On, you can highlight some of those skills on some of the description, maybe on your professional experience, right? You can highlight those. But I don't think there's a hobby that you can add to your resume that can add to specifically a financial analyst position. So you always want to focus on professional achievements. You want to focus on experiences that you've had from previous jobs that can add to this position that you're applying to, right? Some of these things you can talk about them during your interview. They might ask it in the form of where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? That's where you can talk about your goals. And maybe for your hobbies, that might be something that comes up during the interview. So these are things you don't want to add on your resume. This is why some resumes are like 2-3 pages long, because people have all of this irrelevant information that doesn't really add to your resume. It just makes it cluttered. And if I was looking at your resume, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go through 2 pages. So the goal is to have your resume focused, relevant, and it needs to be appealing to someone who is looking at it. Now, just to give a disclaimer, this may be different for someone who's applying for a graphic designer position or an art job position where you might be creative with your resume. Still don't recommend it, but I'm not familiar with that. But if you're applying to these analytics roles that where you're dealing with data, where, like, people that look at your resume want to look at the information, the relevant information, I would definitely remove all the 5 things that are highlighted. Obviously there's more things, but these are some of the things that I've seen while looking at resumes. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.